All right, let's jump right in. What if I told you there's an ancient practice, one that's been kind of hidden in plain sight, that could completely change how you deal with, well, everything? We're about to unpack how you can take back your power. And the amazing part is, it all starts with an idea that's so simple, it's almost hard to believe.
I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. When was the last time your mind was just quiet? No worrying about tomorrow, no replaying yesterday, none of that constant chatter. If you're like most people, the answer is probably never. That inner noise has become our background music, and we've gotten so used to it we don't even realize it's playing. And here's the thing, that autopilot mode, it's been silently running the show, shaping your entire reality. I'm talking every thought, every feeling, every single reaction you have. It's been quietly robbing you of your peace, your clarity, and your own power, all without you even realizing it was happening. So, let's talk about this autopilot mind. The subtitle here really says it all, doesn't it? Your mind has become a prison you built. See, what's so powerful about this idea is that it flips the script. The problem isn't out there with the world, it's in here. We spend so much of our lives just replaying old stories, old worries, old arguments in our heads. And without even knowing it, we've built the walls of a prison and locked the door from the inside. And these right here, these are the invisible weights we carry around every single day. The stress, the anxiety, the anger. I mean, this list probably looks pretty familiar, right? We've been told our whole lives that this is just normal, that this is just what being an adult feels like. But what if that's a lie? What if all this inner chaos, all this struggle, is not our natural state at all? Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's use a powerful metaphor. Your mind, like water. The whole idea here is to shift our focus. It's not about trying to control every storm that happens outside of us. No, it's about understanding what's going on inside our own glass. And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? Over here, you've got our natural state, calm, clear, transparent. It's just pure awareness. And then you've got the disturbed state, shaken up, cloudy, totally chaotic. This is where most of us live day to day, in a state of constant reaction to everything happening around us. I absolutely love this quote because it hits the nail on the head. The water always wants to return to stillness. Your mind always wants to return to peace. That is its nature. Peace is your factory setting. It's your default mode. The only thing, and I mean the only thing, stopping your mind from settling is you. You're thinking, you're judging, you're reacting. You don't have to go out and find peace. You just have to stop stirring the water. Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we stop stirring the water? Well, this leads us to our first real practical tool. It's called the power of the gap. And honestly, this is where all your power lives. It's this tiny, invisible moment of choice that exists between something happening and your automatic reaction to it. And most people go their entire lives without ever knowing it's there. Let's walk through this because it's super important. So, step 1, a stimulus. Let's say you get a rude email from a coworker. Step 2, the automatic reaction. Your heart starts pounding, you get angry, and you start typing up a nasty reply. But wait, right there, that's the gap. That's the moment of choice. It's your chance to pause and decide on a conscious response instead of just letting that old autopilot program take over. And we're not talking about some long, complicated meditation here. We're talking about 3 seconds. That's it. Just 3. It sounds ridiculously simple, I know. But in that tiny little pause, that's where awareness floods in. That's the space where you can actually see your anger building up and think, interesting. I don't actually have to send that email. It's a total game changer. Now, that little 3-second pause, it's more than just a cool trick for not losing your temper. It's actually the gateway to a whole new way of relating to life. We're talking about the art of letting be. This is where we take that tiny practice, that micro skill, and we blow it up into a full-on philosophy for how we live. And this quote right here is one of the most important things you'll ever hear. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. This is such a critical distinction to make. Pain is the raw event, the breakup, the job loss, the bad news. It happens. But suffering is the story our mind creates about the pain. It's the this shouldn't be happening, the why me, the it's not fair. Suffering is the resistance we add on top. So, okay, how do we actually practice letting things be? Well, it breaks down into a few key things. First, stop fighting with reality. Just accept what is in this moment. Second, Learn to observe your thoughts without getting tangled up in them. You just watch them drift by, no judgment. And third, and this is a big one, you release that death grip you have on things you can't control anyway. You just let go.
And honestly, this right here might be the most powerful secret of all. Your thoughts are not facts. Read that again. They're just passing mental events, like weather patterns in your mind. They feel real, but they aren't objective truth. The only power they have is the power you give them by believing them. The moment you realize you are not your thoughts, you are the one watching your thoughts, everything changes. You're no longer the prisoner, you're the observer.
All right, so when we put all these pieces together, the gap, letting be, observing our thoughts, it leads us to this final, really beautiful destination, returning to wholeness. And here's the big reveal. This whole journey was never, ever about trying to fix yourself, because you were never broken. It was always about remembering a fundamental truth you just forgot. Think about this. The problem was never that you weren't good enough, or smart enough, or successful enough. The problem was that you believed the thought that you weren't enough. And no amount of success or validation on the outside can ever heal a mistaken belief on the inside. That whole lifelong chase for more was always aimed at the wrong target. We've all been trying so hard to become whole, completely forgetting that we started out that way.
So what is wholeness? It's the simple, profound truth that you were never broken to begin with. The peace you're searching for isn't something you have to go out and find. It's something you just have to uncover. It's already in you, right now, buried under all the noise, all the conditioning, all the fears. The real work isn't about adding something new to yourself. It's about chipping away all the stuff that isn't really you.
So I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Not just something to think about, but something to do. For the next 48 hours, just pick one of these things to practice. That's it, just one. Maybe you'll focus on finding that 3-second gap. Or maybe you'll just practice watching your thoughts without judgment. Or maybe you'll consciously let go of one tiny thing you can't control. Just try it. See for yourself what happens when you stop trying so hard to find peace, and you simply allow it to be there.